Isn't One Piece just the absolute bomb? So today, we're diving deep into the world of One Piece to bring you the top 10 moments of our fearless captain Luffy 10, saying goodbye to Mary. Mary was the first ship that made One Piece even possible. It was the first ship of the party, and Luffy and everyone had a strong attachment to it. Being a normal wooden ship, it survived some of the most drastic conditions. Unfortunately, Mary couldn't make it to the end, and after some irreparable damage, Luffy decided to move forward, but Usopp wanted to fix Mary. But Luffy wanted to find a new ship to continue their journey. He even challenged Luffy for the ship's captaincy, but Luffy had to defeat his crew member. After that, the crew leaves Usopp and gives the ship a proper farewell. Luffy sets it on fire and gives it a Viking protocol. This was truly a heart-wrenching moment for many of us One Piece fans and even for the crew. Luffy, Zoro, and all the crew members finally shed their last tear on the ship and continued their journey. 9. Walking past Big Mama and Kaido. Before going on full-on Joy Boy, Luffy has a great moment. This is not a fight, but a gangster walk. After the gang reaches Kaido and Big Mama, Luffy pulls off an epic cold move. He walks past the two emperors of the sea. Big Mama and Kaido are no joke when it comes to fighting, but Luffy doesn't give a crap. He gradually walks between the two because he has some other important matters to attend to. Big Mama and Kaido's face clearly show their frustration and anger after watching Luffy. He goes straight to the fallen Kinemon and doesn't care about these Godzilla-sized Yonko. The fight after this was truly a masterpiece, but if I was Luffy, I wouldn't have made such a crazy move. 8. Luffy vs Katakuri. Over the course of the more than 1,000 chapters in One Piece, Luffy has encountered many adversaries with a range of fighting techniques and skill sets. His fight against Charlotte Katakuri, one of Big Mom's many children, is one that is still spoken about by fans today because of his Mochi Mochi no Mi abilities, which let him mimic Luffy's techniques like the elephant gun. Katakuri was one of Luffy's more formidable opponents and could mash him practically blow for blow. Luffy goes in a full street fight with Katakuri in the Brule's Mirror World. The only thing that kept Luffy going was his ability of endurance. Following multiple rounds and some intervention from Charlotte Flamp, the two eventually found a level playing field as Luffy learned to anticipate moves with the color of observation. Haki and Katakuri hurt themselves in the same manner that they had hurt Luffy following a needle shot from Flamp. Both were equally mashed and both had Conqueror's Haki. However, Luffy kept getting up again and again, which finally led to his victory. But showing off such feats of strength against the head of the Straw Hat pirate captain is not everyone's cup of tea, and the animation here along with the whole destruction was just cherry on top. Oda clearly knows how to put up a magnificent match without being full of crap and bullshit talk. 7. Gear 5 Awakening. If you have never heard of Luffy's Gear 5, you would certainly slip and fall today. Just kidding, but Luffy's Gear 5 was once in a lifetime experience. After getting badly beaten up by Kaido, everyone thought that this was the end for Straw Hat, but boy, they were wrong. This was the debut of the Gear 5. But how did it achieve Gear 5? Well, years before the events of the series, Huzu was a member of CP9, and he was assigned the duty of delivering the human fruit to a secret location. This was the fruit that was known as Model Nika. Shanks and the Red Hair Pirates ambush his cargo on the journey, stealing the devil fruit and unintentionally letting Monkey D. Luffy eat it later. This lets Luffy gain the power of Sun God Nika, who is an embodiment of freedom. After this new transformation, Luffy kicks the butt of Kaido, which was never seen before. The Sun God's powers allowed Luffy to transform even his surroundings into rubber. His laughter was also a unique cut to transformation where the typical protagonists of other anime turned serious after their transformation. Kaido was left with no other choice but to accept his defeat. However, the main thing is that Gear 5 Awakening took down Crunchyroll for a couple of hours, but not everyone can break the internet. 6. Luffy punches a celestial dragon. Moving up in our list is a badass moment that shocked everyone. Luffy beats the hell out of a celestial dragon with a single punch. But what are celestial dragons and why they are a big deal? In order to oppose the Great Kingdom, 20 royal families from various islands in the world came together some 800 years prior to the present. 19 of the 20 royal families moved to the Holy Land of Mary Joyce following the victory of the 20 Kingdom Alliance. The royal reign of Mary Joyce gradually expanded their association with more and more countries, finally transforming it into the modern world government. These 19 families are the immediate ancestors of the world nobles. These arrogant bastards think that they are the creator of the world, and they are free to do anything that pleases them and commit tremendous crimes in the process. They have a glass around their heads so they don't breathe in the same space as normal people. They have the authority to summon any admiral, and everyone is obliged to bow down to them. But this fact doesn't change Monkey D. Luffy's attitude. He walks to one of the nobles named Saint Charles to save Cammy, one of Luffy's dearest. Hayton tries to stop Luffy, but Charlo shots him down, showing what a cocky brat he is. This pisses off Luffy, and he throws a fully stretched mighty blow right into the face of the jerk that sends him flying through the seats. This moment is so satisfactory, and you should watch it multiple times as well. 5. Declared war against the world government. Just like I told you about the nobles and the world government, Luffy still doesn't give a f when it comes to his friends. The world government is like the bullying group of the class. They are free to do whatever they want and are not held answerable. The world government consists of the nobles, and their protectors are the navy, admirals, monsters, and a bunch of other folks. But Luffy has only one thing dear to him, and that is his friend Nico Robin. In the iconic moments, Luffy declares war against the world government by burning down its flag and shows how dedicated he is when it comes to his family. Luffy has shown from time to time how careful and protective he is when it comes to saving his friends. So it's not a surprise that he will go against the world government or even the world to save his friends. 4. Gear 4 debut. During episode 726, we see Luffy going hand in hand with Doflamingo, one of the baddest villains of the Anime. But Luffy had a secret trick up his sleeve, the Gear 4. This was the first time we saw the Gear 4 Banma. At this point, Doflamingo had also activated his Devil Fruit, giving him the boost he needed. However, the flight was pretty iconic as the two clashed heads-on and counterattacked one another. Doflamingo attacked Luffy several times, but he was able to absorb and dodge those attacks. In the climax, Luffy prepares his final move, the King Kong Gun. 3. Red Rock debut. Just like we showed how badass Luffy was when he walked past the two emperors to have a look at his buddy Kinemon, this moment is more than just that. After tending to his buddy, Luffy turns around to land the first ever and most vicious Red Rock. Rubber Inferno Fist Gun is the literal translation of Gomu Gomu no Red Rock, a hybrid of Gomu Gomu no Elephant Gun and Gomu Gomu no Red Hawk. By pumping his fists and using both Gear 2 and sophisticated Busoshoku Haki, Luffy activates Gear 3 and unleashes a massive, blazing, hardened punch. The power of this move was sufficient to bring Kaido to the ground, burn, wound, and briefly set him on fire. This slap was personal because Luffy remembered all the stuff that Kaido did in order to cause all the suffering in the world. After this mighty fist, Luffy tells the two emperors that he will become the king of pirates, and even their mighty brains couldn't comprehend it. The animation of Red Rock was beyond what any One Piece fan can expect. The lightning and the impact were so powerful that I even shed tears of joy too. Luffy is the three admirals. Before we go to the best part, let's have a look at the second best part. The best war in the One Piece universe was the Paramount War at Marineford. Agree or not, you can't deny this battle. This battle shifted the course of the arc and gave us some goosebump moments like the arrival of Whitebeard, Shanks, and much more. However, there was one thing that was totally unexpected, and it was the face-off between the three admirals of the Navy and Monkey D. Luffy. Aokiji, Akainu, and Kizaru, the three founding admirals, were significant figures in the Marineford War. This scene was the main deal that showed how much Luffy is a friend's boy. He knew that he was no match for the three admirals who were the highest-ranked jerks in the Navy. Even after being exhausted, Luffy took the leap of faith and decided to face them. Facing one admiral is enough, but facing the three of them at the same time is just stupidity. Luffy tries his best to take out even a single one of them, but it is all in vain. But considering this inferior form of Luffy, things would have been completely different if Luffy had faced them after unlocking the Gear 5. 1. Defeating Kaido. Here we are folks at number 1. The moment we have all been waiting for, and it's the moment where Luffy defeats Kaido. As we have seen in the series so far, Kaido is an embodiment of destruction and chaos. His strength and endurance surely make him the strongest creature on the planet. Kaido has the ability to change into an Eastern Dragon and its hybrid thanks to the mythical Zone Ryoryo no Mei model, Seiryu. Without question, Kaido's greatest power is this. Big Mom gave him this devil fruit 38 years ago during the God Valley incident. Since then, Kaido has developed a strong grasp of this talent and attained the highest level of power. The finale of the fight was surely mouth-watering. For the whole fight, Kaido had the upper hand, and it would have been the same if Luffy hadn't activated the Gear 5. With the power of the Sun God, Kaido, who was seen as the king of monsters, was now being played by Luffy like a doll. Luffy charges up his mighty fist to finish Kaido once and for all. It's fascinating that Luffy doesn't use any abilities or special tricks to finish off his opponent, rather uses a single blow. He's the one-punch man of his own anime. The animation and the lightning, especially the black and white contrast, was really fascinating. An iconic way to end a legendary battle. Luffy had finally reached the level to stand against the world and become the king of the pirates.